Hey Damien, I have a question for you. I have a friend that she's seeing a guy. So my friend is Chinese and the guy is from Vietnamese cultural background. And they've been hanging out for some time. That guy treated her like a princess, pays for everything, takes her out for dinner, even washes the car for her, but he doesn't want to commit. Do you have an idea why? My friend really likes him. She's looking for a serious relationship, so she brought up the topic and that guy said no. The reason he doesn't want to commit is because they are from a different cultural background. Do you think that's a real reason? I don't think so, but I would like to know your opinion as a man.
Defining what commitment is quite important to this conversation. For them to be in a relationship and not seeing anyone else. And not be looking to meet anyone else. Is that what it is? Yeah, so I would say if a guy is seeing a girl or has seen a girl a few times and he's unhappy to turn that into a relationship, then he's probably needing more time to firm up his position.
How much time do you think it will be enough for a guy to decide?
That's a really complex question to answer because it's how long's a piece of string, you know? It could take as long as it takes, and I think it's quite a mutual decision in that like either person can decide that they've tried for long enough before.
If the girl is your best friend, what advice would you give to her that if she's seeing this guy?
If she was my best friend, the advice that I'd give her is like, if he makes you happy when you're with him and you think that there is a chance that he might reconsider his position on it becoming a committed relationship, then stay in it as long as you can.
In a guy's mind, what makes you commit? What makes you don't want to commit?
I think you have to separate the concepts of someone treating you well and someone wanting to commit. And when you're with someone, you can try your best to have the best time possible because no one wants to not have a good time. And so if you're dating someone, you want to make that night good for you and you want to make that night good for them. But that doesn't mean that you want to commit to them. And so, you know, I think commitment is about what you each do when you're not together. Some guys feel good by doing things that you mentioned, but then when he's not with her, he doesn't want to commit to her. It's about the opportunity cost. If I'm dating you, I'm in an uncommitted relationship, then I have a whole universe of potential that I have not yet discovered that might better suit my needs, that may meet what I'm looking for better than what you do. And so whilst I'm uncommitted to you, that universe is still available for me. But the second I commit to you, that universe is gone. That universe shrinks. So there's no other opportunities. This is it.
So it's about the fear of losing the freedom.
It's about the fear of not meeting someone who might be better suited. And that's not to say that he won't ever do it. But it takes time for me to get comfortable with closing that universe. Right? I might, you know, some guys are desperate to be in relationships, and so the first girl they meet, they're happy to close that universe because meeting someone and being committed to someone is more important than finding the right fit. Right? Other guys, they're forever scared to close the universe. And so no matter how good you are, they still want to keep that universe open just in case they happen to meet someone that's better suited. And so I think that's the normal kind of spectrum of what happens. But I think there's a key point, which is like through spending time with someone and developing connection with someone, you will contribute towards either closing or leaving open that universe. Like there will be a deciding point. If I spend enough time with you, and even though sex is great, relationships great, everything's great, there's this one thing that we keep getting hung up on, then I'm gonna want to keep that universe open. And one day I'll go...
And that one thing could be different for different person?
Oh, everyone's got that. But the other side of that coin is like maybe through me spending time with you so much, then that one thing becomes quite insignificant compared to the other things that I love about you.
Yeah.
And so then you get to the point where you're happy to close that universe. More about being a human than being about a guy or a girl, right? But then in terms of committing
treating her like a princess is different, right? As treating your friend.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're with someone for romantic intentions, so of course you're going to treat them romantically, you know, like that's common sense. But someone once told me a good story. So I got a cousin in Italy, and he was telling me about a man who cheats on his wife, arguing with his wife, and he's saying, you know, I love you, but like, think of it as if, you know, Italians love phrasing things around food. So think of it around, phrasing it around food. You are pasta fagioli, so pasta with beans. And I love it. It's my favorite type of pasta. And so I eat pasta fagioli every day. Sometimes I get this craving for a different type of pasta. And so maybe I'll eat ravioli one day.
Yeah.
And now I'm only going to eat it for lunch, but I'm still going to come home for dinner and eat pasta fagioli because that's definitely my favorite pasta. So how that relates to what we're saying is, like, making a commitment is about committing to that one type of pasta that you want to eat for the rest of your life.
Okay.
And so sometimes making the decision to commit to the pasta is a really big decision. It's not something you can do after meeting someone 3 or 4 times.
No, what if they've already been spending time for a month or 2 or 3?
But again, it comes back to this idea of what is commitment.
Like in a relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend. So
if your friend is one type of pasta, and he enjoys eating that pasta, but he's just not ready to say certainly that he doesn't want to eat any other pastas yet. Because there might be another pasta out there that he likes more than that particular pasta. Yeah. He needs to spend more time eating that pasta in order to be certain that he doesn't want to eat any other pastas.
Do you think it's important to have an open conversation about this, so that you both know what each other's intentions are?
Yeah, I think at our age, age is a key point in that. So I think at the age that we're at, I think having a conversation around intention is really important. In the height of romantic intention, people can either intentionally or unconsciously lie and be confused around what they want. I've got a lot of guy friends who are convinced that they want a relationship and they want a girl and they want to settle down. Yeah. And the second that they get a girl and settle down, it all implodes and they leave.
So you're saying a lot of people are confused. If the girl is a good girl and she has already made her intention very clear that she's looking for committed relationship. Yeah. And then if you can't commit, and what if she moves on?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the intersectionality that I was talking about. Like there's 2 things traveling in 2 directions, and at some point they need to cross, right? And so as I get to know you and build conviction that you are worth closing the universe for, I'm acutely aware that you have your own timeline, and you're saying, I don't want to keep showing this guy why he should close the universe. Because there's equally for you, there's a whole universe of guys that you have said that you don't want to meet, whilst you invest time and energy in me. So it's like a race against the clock for both of us. There's only 2 things that could be happening here. One is he needs to spend more time with her to become more certain that he likes her or doesn't like her. Or he might go, actually, the more I learn about this girl, the more I love her, and the more I convince myself that I want to spend more time with her. You know, like, society has developed this protocol which all guys, more or less, with the exception of some, conform to. And so even when you don't know a girl from a bar of soap, so there's no one answer. I think what's more important is that both people feel valued and comfortable with the outcome.